It started like countless other afternoons on South Africa's roads, with traffic flowing steadily, people making their way home, and the last light of day slowly slipping away, until within moments it transformed into a scene of war where explosives ripped through metal, gunfire rang out across nearby villages, and an innocent man lay dead on the asphalt for a crime he neither planned, led, nor benefited from. Shortly after 5 p.m. on Friday, on the R510 between Rustenburg and Northam, the familiar rules of everyday life simply fell apart. A cash-in-transit vehicle failed to reach its destination, a community was left deeply shaken, and another name was added to the growing list of South Africans killed not because they were criminals, but because they happened to be present when organized violence arrived. Police say the armored vehicle was traveling from Northam toward Rustenburg when security officers noticed something unusual ahead, a vehicle burning in the middle of the road. In South Africa, that sight has become a warning. Burnt-out vehicles often signal protest action, ambushes, or traps meant to slow traffic. The guards reacted as many would have, attempting to avoid danger by diverting through Quippy village near Mways, believing it would be safer than continuing forward. That choice may have spared some lives, but it also led them directly into a meticulously planned ambush. As the armored vehicle slowed to navigate the alternative route, heavily armed suspects launched their attack. Gunfire broke out, the driver was shot, and chaos erupted. Amid the hail of bullets, one attacker allegedly overpowered a security officer, stealing his 9mm service pistol and ammunition. Then the explosions followed. Explosives were detonated on the cash-in-transit vehicle, tearing through reinforced steel designed to resist such assaults. The blasts were so powerful they were heard in surrounding villages. Smoke billowed into the air, windows shook, and residents fled in fear. This was not a robbery driven by desperation, it was a coordinated, military-style operation. Police report that the suspects arrived and escaped in a white Toyota GD6Y and a Toyota Fortuner, vehicles that have become disturbingly familiar in cash-in-transit attacks nationwide. An undisclosed amount of money was loaded into the getaway vehicles, and then came the moment that stripped away any remaining illusion that this was merely a theft. During the chaos, an unidentified local man approached the suspects, and police believe he was trying to help gather money scattered by the blast. He was unarmed, not involved in the planning, and posed no threat, yet one of the robbers allegedly shot him at point-blank range. He died on the road before paramedics could arrive. His name has not yet been released, but somewhere a family is being told that a husband, son, brother, or father will never return home, not because he attacked anyone, but because greed and brutality found opportunity. This is the point where cash-in-transit robberies stop being sensational crimes and become something far more disturbing, public executions carried out in the open, where human life is valued less than speed and escape. The injured security officer was rushed to hospital, his condition still unknown, while another family waits anxiously, hoping their loved one survives a job that grows more dangerous with each passing year. This leads to a question South Africa continues to avoid confronting honestly: how did cash-in-transit robberies become so normal? Explosives, automatic weapons, tactical ambushes, coordinated escape convoys, and the killing of bystanders are not signs of petty crime, but of organized, well-funded criminal networks operating with confidence and increasing impunity. Residents of Quippy village describe the attack as bold, violent, and terrifying, and community leaders are once again calling for increased police visibility along major routes. Yet for many South Africans, such calls sound painfully familiar, repeated after every massacre, ambush, and heist that leaves bodies behind. Visibility alone cannot match syndicates that plan for weeks, study routes, track movements, and strike with precision. Cash-in-transit gangs understand the terrain, the vehicles, and police response times, and they know that amid explosions and gunfire, civilians are exposed and expendable. What makes this attack especially chilling is the calculated planning behind it: the burnt vehicle used to force a diversion, the choice of a route near a village, and escape paths prepared in advance. This was not coincidence, it was choreography. It exposes an uncomfortable reality that South Africa's roads have become battlegrounds where civilians are trapped between commerce and criminals. Police have launched a manhunt, with forensic teams and specialized units tracing suspects, tracking stolen firearms, and following money trails, though no arrests have yet been made. Even if arrests do follow, the deeper issue remains. Cash-in-transit robberies have evolved because the balance of risk and reward favors criminals, the sums involved are large, the likelihood of long prison sentences uncertain, and the networks shielded by fear, silence, and at times corruption. When someone is killed, outrage flares briefly before the next incident replaces it in the news cycle, and violence becomes routine. The murdered community member did not choose this war. He did not wake up on Friday expecting to become part of a national crime statistic. He stepped into a moment beyond his control and paid with his life. Police have warned the public to stay away from crime scenes, especially during active robberies, a warning that is valid but also reveals a harsh truth. Ordinary people are expected to navigate spaces where gunfire and explosions can erupt without warning. How do you avoid a road you travel every day? How do you tell whether a protest is genuine or a trap? How do you protect yourself from criminals willing to shoot unarmed civilians at point-blank range? You cannot, at least not reliably, and that is the real failure. This attack is not only about stolen cash, it is about a country where criminal operations have grown so bold that public space is treated as disposable, where bystanders become collateral damage, and where families bury loved ones while the masterminds vanish into networks that stretch far beyond a single road, village, or province. The R510 will reopen, traffic will resume, and people will pass the spot where a man lost his life without ever knowing his name, but the fear remains, the awareness that ordinary life can be shattered at any moment by extraordinary violence. Until cash-in-transit robberies are treated not merely as financial crimes but as acts of extreme organized violence requiring dedicated intelligence, sustained prosecutions, and the dismantling of entire syndicates, these scenes will continue to repeat: a different road, a different village, the same outcome, another explosion, another body, another appeal for information, and another reminder that in South Africa today, even standing still can be fatal when crime decides it is your turn.